Welcome back, Airbnb family. Today we are going to do a slightly extended video on how to conduct free market research on Airbnb so that way you don't have to pay for AirDNA. This is the kind of thing that you'll need to know when picking up new properties, how to vet your locations and vet your territory to make sure that you get in profitably. And of course, this can help you with your competitive pricing strategies if you already have property. So what we're going to do is we're going to search through properties and we're going to look at our competition. I'm going to teach you a few different ways to do this and what exactly it is that we're looking for. So the first thing that I want to teach you how to do is how to find out what other people are charging. And this is not that difficult, but it gets a little deeper than you think. So we're going to go to Homes in Houston. And we like to pull up the map on the right. The map is what we really want because this is how you define your area in order to whittle down the total number of spaces. You see down here, it shows that there's over 300 rentals in this search parameter. We're going to want to get that down under 300 so we can start working with percentages. But currently, we're just looking at prices. So what we're going to do is we are going to try to find out how many people in your competitive area have a price point. So this is where I compete. If we're going to actually scroll this a little bit to the right here, and this is my neighborhood. So I have about 15 properties right here in the mix. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to look for dates in the future. The reason why we look for dates in the future is because a lot of people will drop their rates last minute. So if you've noticed on the right here, you're going to see that there's one for 80 and one for 79 and one for 58. We're going to set our dates for the future. We're going to actually go more than a month ahead of time to increase the likelihood that people will be available. And we're going to, some people don't allow for single night stays, so we're going to do a 2-night search, instant book on, because that's the only thing that really actually matters, and apply that. Hey, here's one of my properties right there. There you go. That's me. That's me, and that's me. So I've got 3. Oh, that's me too. Oh, let me add this one to my wish list. So add your own properties to your wish list, guys, because it actually helps with your SEO. And if somebody wants to see all of your properties, you just share with them your wish list. It makes it easy. So home type, you're going to want entire place if that's how you roll. And bang. Here we go. So instant book is on, entire place. What do we have? For these 2 dates, you'll see these are the search parameters. But when you go in and actually look for filters based on price, what we see here is we see this little graph, this chart. Now, what we want to do is get in what you think to be your competitive range, and we're also going to change how many apartments there are. So, but if you notice that a bulk of this stuff, it looks like it's in between 55 a night and 245 a night in price points. So the next filters that we want to look for are going to be for whatever type of property you want to set up, if you're just looking to do price competition. So what we're going to look for is we're actually going to look for, well, obviously beds 1+ and bathrooms 1+. So the problem here is that you cannot exclude 2 bedrooms from the search, so everything will pop up higher. So now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to start looking at them to find out which ones are 2 beds and which ones are 1 beds, and you can see them right here. And we're clicking on this 1 bed by accident. So let's go back. So this one's a 1 bedroom. This one's a 2 bedroom. So this 2 bedroom for April 10th through 12th is 113 a night, right? Which I think is actually super, super low. This, well, actually, these are the total number of beds in the apartment. So there we go. So this one has 3 beds. This one's mine. I'm charging 160 and 196 a night as my base rate. I've got 2 separate king-size beds because it's a 2 bedroom, and I have 1 queen-size sleeper sofa. So this is going to be a 1 bedroom with 2 beds. This is going to be a 2 bedroom here, it looks like. And then this one's going to be a 1 bedroom. So all these ones that have very few amount of beds, you can pretty much roll the dice and believe that they're 1 bedrooms. This one, though, is a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's listed there. So this person is kind of screwing up because they can put a sleeper sofa in the living room and mark it. So what you see here is when you do a search for these dates, you're going to notice that the cluster of prices here are going to be what people charge. So what you can do is if you want to isolate, you want to find out how many people are charging between $55 and $77 a night. You scroll down and you see that there's 8 rentals at that price point. right, between 55 and 77 for those 2 nights. And then you can take a look at what they look like. So this is the neighborhood that the cheaper ones are in. See over here, below West Gray. This is more Montrose Museum Park. This is more Midtown. Actually, I've got some property right here, and I've got a lot of property up here. So now, if you want to then look and see what other price points people are at, let's go up to the 100 and go from that $77 price point. They may actually make me spread this out a little bit. There we go. 78 to 106. How many do we have in that nightly range? And that's when a lot of properties will probably start popping up. We've got 34 rentals at that range. And I think that's actually a pretty workable range. It's actually small. So what I would do is I would then go to about 145 a night, 78 to 145. And this will be a good focused amount, 78 rentals. So you can see how many properties are in this range. And we've done it for 2 days here. And so what we'll do is just to make sure, see if there's actually, some people might already have some bookings. So what we're going to do is we're going to check another couple days here and see what pops up, if it's still 78 or not. And it is 76. So the greater of the two is 78. So we know that there's at least 78 in this area. So let's go back here just for the sake of it. And then what I'm going to teach you how to do now is how to determine general demand on this. Okay, so when you look at a property, let's say we look at this downtown 1-bedroom. You're going to want to look for a couple key bits of information when you open these up. So there's going to be notes that Airbnb gives you. They're going to tell you, while this is loading, guys, I'm going to give you this information. They're going to tell you that, you know, a certain number of other people have viewed this property in the last 24 hours. We're going to say that this one's very rarely very rarely available, stuff like that. So, like right here, this home's on people's minds been viewed 500 times in the past week, but that is for any spread of dates. So this one's getting over 500 views in a week. That's pretty good. Good job, Mr. SEO guy. So now if we actually go into dates and we want to look at his availability, check this out. So right now it's the beginning of February. He's all booked out except for the 2nd, the 22nd, 23rd, 24th. He's got 5 days, 3, 5, and then 5 available in March, right? So that's that person's occupancy. This person's 50% occupied in March, and it's like the 3rd of February now, and he's almost 100% occupied for those dates. Or Ariana, sorry, it's a female. She is occupied. Good job, Ariana. So what we can learn from this is at her price point of 90 per night, she is staying pretty well occupied a few months out, right? There's other things you want to consider too, of course, like what are her reviews. She's actually only got 2 reviews, so this has got to be a new property because she's booked up, but has no reviews. So in order to ensure that we get a good actual grip for what this is like, let's look at this one right here, this Montrose one. Now what you can do is you can open up a Google Drive spreadsheet and start taking notes. What you'll do is you could do is, actually I'll even do that for you, just to give you kind of like the proper way to do this, because I think this is the most helpful for you. So let's say we go into Google Drive, which is free for any of you who have not used it, and we're going to open up a new spreadsheet. So today's date is February 3rd, 2018, and we're going to mark title as competitive analysis. So we've got property number 1, and what you can do is you just copy the name here, and you can even take the link for it if you want to do that and keep that available. And then you can go occupancy. Okay, so we got price, and that price is 90 per night. Don't mind me, guys. I don't need to know how to type. There we go. So current reviews, review count 2. Now, what do we know about our occupancy percentage? So you could do this 30 days, and then next 30 days, and then 60 to 90 days out. And don't mind me one more time for my lack of ability to type. So let's mark her occupancy. And to do this, this is pretty simple. What we're going to do is we're going to go back and look at February. 28, she's got 25 out of 28. So you go into here, 25 divided by 28. And actually, let's put the equal sign. Equals 89% occupancy. Now let's go down to the next month. So there's 31 days, and she's got 5, 10, 15, 18 actually, let's count the days that she actually has. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, 13, sorry. My bad. Okay, so she's got 13 out of 31 days, and so she is 41% occupied for 60 days out. And then here, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So she's got 5 days out of 30 for 60 to 9 days out. So equals 5 divided by 30. That's her occupancy here. So now, and then that was at the price of 90. So let's just put a little box here to help you understand that this is one person's stuff. Now, Montrose. Superhost, congratulations, Lucille. If you're watching this, you are doing awesome, so keep it up. And now let's look at her property, and let's copy the link up top if we want to reference it later. And then let's go into her price. She's 95 per night, and she has 34 reviews, and she's crushing it with all 5 stars. So price is 95 per night, and then of course her reviews are 34, and she is an average of 5 star, which can matter on her occupancy and her SEO. So now let's go back in and search for her availability. Okay, so she has 3 open dates for the month out of 28. So she's got 25 out of 28 again. So let's copy this. Let's put it down here. And of course, we've got our occupancy percentage. So she is 25 out of 28 also. And then the next month, she has only 6 unbooked days. So she's 25 out of 31. So she's crushing it. So she's 80% occupied for next month already. And she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 booked days out of 30 for her 60 to 90 days out. So she charges more but has more reviews in our 5 star, and she's beating out obviously our friend from the previous profile. So now what we want to do is we want to keep going up in price point, right? So let's take the next one that's up. So this is marked as 113 per night, but that includes the cleaning fee, and that's probably why you see that price point. That's the average price per night for our query. So let's go into another, let's look at this one. This is 122 per night for this high rise. So high rises are great. They're definitely more popular than regular mid rises, and Houston's definitely shown that. We can at least copy the link in the meantime. Close these ones out. Okay, so hers is 89 a night with a big cleaning fee. And this one's been viewed 91 times in the past week, and she's got 36 reviews in their 5 star. So price is 89 per night. And then reviews, she's got 36, and they are average of 5 star. But everybody's averages are near 5 star, it looks like. So that may not give us much room for comparison here. So let's copy her title. put it up top, and we have hers. So now, let's see what we can learn about her occupancy percentage. So her for February, she's got 5 open days out of 28. Copy it here and go here. So equals 5 divided by 28. And then we'll do the same thing. Oh, she's got 5 open days, which means it's the reverse. She's equals 23 out of 28. And then for the next month, she has booked 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, 23. So she's 23 out of 31 here. And then for April, she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bookings out of 30. So she's like 20% there. So now let's take this one. This one's actually one of mine. So we will load this up and I will show you where we're at. As you see my tagline, I like to be interactive. You'll love it here. I've always focused on high quality photos. So I'm at 92 per night, right? So let me put mine here. Price equals 92 a night for this one. Let's see how many reviews we have on this property so far. This property has 2 reviews so far because it is kind of new. So reviews equals 2. Now let's look at my occupancy. So this one, I have 1 night in February booked, 1 night in February available. So I'm at equals 27 out of 28. I'm winning for February. Congratulations. And then here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of my 31. But look at how solid that is. What I have is I have perfect availability, which means I can have a long-term guest book where other people can't. Now, this is one thing that I actually talk about in another video on pricing strategy. So I'm 29% occupied for March, but I can have one booking just come in here and scoop the whole thing. So I'm completely available for April because, of course, the way I price it is I make my single night stays really expensive. And then I, of course, start dropping for the longer you book. So this encourages long-term stays. And what that does for me is I have all of February booked. Actually, look, I'm at 100 a night when you look farther out. So there we go. I'm actually at 100 a night. And I'm outperforming people for this period of time. So there we go. So this side by side on 4 different properties and what their occupancy percentages are. So what you can discern from this is a few things. What have we learned? What we've learned is that you coming into the month should expect to be, if you're doing well, all these properties rank high on Airbnb SEO, which means they're some of the best properties that they have available. They'll always push them to the top. And of course, we're only looking at 78, but this is the top of the 78 here, right? So this is the best of the 78. So if you want to look at the upper quartile, all of these properties, the first couple of days of February, they're all near 90% occupied, 80% occupied or better. So try to come into your month like 70% occupied or better would be outstanding if you can pull it off. And that means you're doing really, really well. What it also shows you is people at these price points for 1 bedrooms, somewhere between 90 and 100 a night, are achieving that amount of occupancy coming in. So if you do the math, let's say you have $89 a night and you have 90% occupancy, and there's 28 days, so you equal $89 times 28, and this is going to be an equation here, but then we're going to divide that, or we're going to times that by 0.9 occupancy. So your expected revenue, let me write revenue expectation here, is 2242 if your average cost is 89, like this high rise down here, if she can achieve 90%. So that is kind of what revenue expectation you can have. So let's see if we can find a more expensive unit and see what kind of price points they have achieved. Let's go up and see what kind of occupancy we get in the upper percentile for a 1 bedroom. So there's that same one again. That's super freaking strange. Let's see here. That's a 2 bedroom. We don't want that one. Here's another one of mine that's priced a little bit more expensive. It's so strange how it seems to want to price everything at different price points based on what your search query is. I wonder if Airbnb actually manipulates this specifically. So let's copy the link for this one. And this one's actually the same floor plan as the last one that I just showed you of mine. I pick up 3 properties per building typically. It just makes it easier to manage. So let's put the link there. And then let's copy the name. So this one's marked at 110 per night for this space, right? So we've got price 110 and then reviews. See what kind of reviews I have here so far. We have 9 5-star reviews. Yay! Maybe that way I can become a super host one day if it mattered. So let's go play with the occupancy percentages one more time and see what we've learned. Now, this is the most expensive one out of all the 1-bedrooms we've looked at, right? So it's 125 for 2 nights here, but of course you get this long stay discount. Like I showed you before, if you search at least 2 nights, you get a discount, which brings it down to 110. And this is actually more than I typically want to collect anyway. What I do is I take my single nights and make them more expensive, start to give discounts at 2 days, and then as you book longer, you get closer to the price point that I want. This one's been viewed 169 times in the past week. But what you're going to see is I have like no availability here in February. Oh, there we go. Actually, I do have availability. So I've got 1, 2, 3. And see, these 3 are going to be hard to fill because they're orphaned, right? Which is sad. So I've actually got to drop this price down. See how it's 80 instead? And see, it's 80 plus the cleaning fee. I actually have to drop the rates down because of the fact that it's orphaned, and that's why the prices change. But so what we have is we've got 1 day, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 28 available. So that means I have 15 occupied out of 28. So I'm at 53%. So far being expensive hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I've got 10 book days out of 31 here equals 10 out of 31 and 32% occupied there. And then lastly, let's look in April, and I'm 100% available in April. So I think both of these, this one I've 0% occupied. So now what you see is at $110, this unit here has achieved, at that rate, has achieved 53% occupancy. So let's look at this. Let's say revenue, right? So we've got equals 110 times the number of days, 28, but we're going to make that an equation, right? Like I did before, but times 0.53. That's the revenue I'm going to get for my 53% occupancy. Now, let's say that for 30% of my occupancy, I achieve $80 a night. I have to drop it past everybody down to 80. So let's say equals $80 a night times the 28 days, but we're only getting 30% occupancy. So that's 672 equals the sum of these two together, and that's the expected revenue for that with this pricing strategy, as opposed to somebody up here who just does their flat 90 and achieves their 90% occupancy there. So now here, I'm at 83% occupancy. So this is, let's put at 83%. So let's see with the last 10%, I have to go and get, I'll drop it down to $50. So equals $50 times the number of days, but I achieve 10% occupancy on that, right? There's an extra 140 bucks. So equals the sum of these two. And this is if we get up to 93% occupancy, scaling down our prices with an actively managed pricing strategy, and we squeak ahead at 24.44. So you slightly outperform alternative properties with this kind of alternative pricing strategy. So this is what the price points look for this more expensive one. But I want to take you one more time. If I can find something slightly more expensive that's a 1-bedroom, Let's bring it up and see what we're looking at at an even higher price point. Here, this guy's actually at one of my properties that shut me down. So this person's probably going to get a non-renewal at one point. That's what they did to me. So I have this way that I can lease. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it here soon. I'm working on the video series, but basically I've got this system in which that I lease, and they can't tell me that I can't because of the way that I structure it. But this building actually gave me non-renewals for my leases and went through great lengths to find ways for me not to be able to reapply. I'll actually tell you that full story in a future video. I'm still actually trying to digest everything so that way I can kind of give you the rundown on how that works and what your expectations could be. I actually used to have the same exact unit 2 years ago. How crazy is that? They knock one person out of Airbnb and the next person jumps in and does the same. It's so great. Yeah, this was my exact apartment actually. It faced the same building here too. How wild is that? So let's go into his occupancy here. And all right, Edgar, let's see what you got. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He's got 15 open days, which means that his equals, he's got 13 out of 28 booked. So he's at 46% occupancy. So let's do this here. And his price is 150. All right, and this is a high rise that actually looks pretty freaking good. So, you know, what can you do? You should charge a premium. Now he's got 5 booked days in March, equals 5 out of 30. So he's 25% occupancy, or 5 out of 31. So let me change that. And then April he's got nothing. So equals 5 out of 31, and then he's got nothing. So as you see here, let's go look at the reviews and see how many views he's gotten to, if that's possible. He's been viewed 279 times in the past week, and he's got 32 reviews. So, and those are 5-star as well. So he's got reviews of 32. So there's not much different between these all these buildings, aside from maybe total review count, because everybody's got the same number of reviews. But you see that the occupancies will change. So the more you charge, the less occupancy we're seeing in the near future, which means that people are actually booking the bottom, right? The lower the price, the more that they're getting filled up. So the highest occupancy percentages here that we'll see is actually mine at $100 a night. And then we've got a 90% at $95 a night. And then we've got an 82% at $89 a night, and we've got an 89%. The 89% at 95, and another 80% at 90 or 89%. So we got 2 near 90% at 90, 95. Mine is at 96% at 100. So it looks like that at $100 a night in Houston, you can profitably run a 1-bedroom without really much hullabaloo. Now, I'm at 53% with $110 per night average. And the guy who has $150 is at 46% for his. And so this $110 a night, we're at 32% for next month. He's at 16% for next month. So as you go up, you're going to get less total bookings ahead of time, which means you will have to drop your rates. So now the question is he doing this? So let's go here and see what he's pricing his February. Look at that. He forces a 2-day. And here's another thing. He's actually requiring a 2-day or 3-day long stay. But he's actually not changing his pricing strategy at all. See that his prices are still $150 a night. So now the question is we pay attention and see, you know, if these end up getting booked or not. I don't know if you can actually go back here and see. Actually, no, you cannot. That'd be so cool. So this won't actually tell you what his occupancy percentages was for the past. But so these orphan days of his may not get scooped up because he's requiring a 2-day minimum. And so what he makes for this month, actually, let me just call it right now. He has. Let me just back out here, see if I can fix this. So he's got 3 nights available here, right? He's got 2 nights available here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he's got his 46% right? Now, the fact that he's requiring a 2-day minimum stay, he's going to have a hard time booking these 2 days at full rate, and he's going to have a hard time booking these 3 days at full rate just because it's last minute. I know how much I have to drop my prices in order to stay fully occupied. He'll probably pick up another booking or two up here, but the problem now is with his strategy, he's got $150 a night equals, let's do the same equation, 150 times the number of days times his occupancy percentage, which is right here. So he's got 1950. So now let's say he gets another 5 days times his 150. That equals his sum, and that is his expected revenue at the higher price point. So what we've got here is his building charging, oh, you guys can't see that color, that's no fun. Let's do background color. So what we have here is his pricing strategy, even with 3 more nights. What is that? He's got 13. So this is at equals 16 divided by 28. At full rate, 57% occupancy, he's clearing $2,700 because he's charging that much more. So then, of course, here comes the argument of volume versus margin. So what you'll see is if you charge $150 a night for a high-end high-rise, single bedroom, up top of, this is Sky House in Houston. This is actually one of the original Sky Houses. You charge $150 a night at 53% occupancy, you'll make $2,700. Now, here's the thing: is if he actively managed this and would drop his prices, and he, would instead drop his prices to 80 for the last, let's say he wanted to get an extra 20% occupancy. That was wrong. Times 0.2. He'd squeeze an extra $448 out of it, and so he'd make 317. What's pretty wild about this, guys, is I've got these small apartments that are way cheaper than this one that he has here, and I'm going to show it to you, just so you can see what I mean. And my monthly incomes on it are just way higher than he's making on this because he doesn't actively manage his prices. So here's a lot of my listings here, and we'll go into this one right here. So this listing of mine is one of my older listings. It's actually one of my first. And so the way that I've priced my unit, I've actually done the math for the last couple of months, and I'll make over $3,000. I make over $3,000 a month on this little 1-bedroom, and my rent is like super cheap. It's wonderful. So what we've done is we've looked at our competition here, right? We see that we've got our spread of different 1-bedrooms in the same neighborhood from lower prices up to higher prices, and you'll see that your occupancy goes down, of course, the more you charge. There's that influx of volume and margin. So as you notice, my average nightly rate is 118, and then my weekend rates are 130. But if somebody books on multiple days, they start to get the discount. So now this is my February. So let's look at these payouts, right? So I don't know. Yep, there's 194 here, plus 188. So that's like 370, 460, 760, 845, 850, plus the 900 here. That's 1775, and we're at 2090 here. So we're at 2090. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days to go. So at 2090 with 10 days to go, and he is going to break 2,700 probably because of his pricing strategy. So 2090 with 10 days to go, in order for me to match his property, right? So I've got 10 days to go. I need to get 9 of those properties, and this doesn't include cleaning fees. 9 of these properties at $80, and I crack him, right? And so I'm actually going to my little midtown, nothing special value apartment that's just properly managed is going to perform as well as this more expensive high-rise in midtown. So that's one argument for actively managing your prices. So, but bringing it back, what we wanted to talk about, of course, at the end of the day was how to check prices for your competitors, and we just did that. Now, The next thing that you want to do for market research is to identify um, what the supply and demand is based on amenities. So we know that it's a healthy market at $100, right? It's even a healthy market up to 120. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we're going to take the here's our competition, right? These are the people that we want to box with, 79 to 136. And our only filters currently are that we're looking for properties that have at least like one bed and one bath. That's it. Not big filters. How many properties do we have? Okay, we've got 66 rentals, and we're looking, of course, in April. So let's go and open up a new sheet. Now let's see what kind of funnel we can create by booliening out certain filters. So this is what's really going to start to bend your brain, guys. So let's go in and let's just check to see how many are business travel ready. And go down. This brings it down to 18, right? So of 66, let's write this. Of 66, 18 are business travel ready, right? And that is it. That's a huge, huge change, right? Which basically all these properties are the ones that are business travel ready. And if you look, you're probably going to see a decent amount of mine. This one's mine with the heart there. This one with the heart is mine. Obviously, that one's mine. That's 3. I've got 4. I've got 4 on the first page of the 18 that are business travel ready. So now let's also take a look at something else. Let's remove business travel ready. Let's look at ones that have a gym. Of the 66, what do we have? We have 29 that have a gym, right? So of 66, 29 have a gym. That's a pretty big drop too, but this shows that in this neighborhood there are a lot of apartments, a lot of people doing it in apartment buildings. Now let's check to see how many people have a pool. And I'm going to tell you, the hot tub is a big one. Like, nobody has a hot tub. So if you put in hot tub and you're going to be one of the only ones. So only 19 have a pool. So 19 have a pool. Now let's race to the hot tub one. Go back here, more filters. See who has a hot tub. 2. Congratulations. If you have a hot tub, you are a rich person in Houston. So get a hot tub. But they do seem like a liability, so I wouldn't blame you if you don't want one. So next, let's look at other filters if we can here. Amenities, home type, guests. Okay, how many can have 8 adults? Actually, let's say 6 adults for the price range that we're in. 5, right? So now what we have is we've got this 2-bedroom, we've got this 1-1 that pulled it off, and we've got a couple other small ones. So you have 5 of them that can host 6. So 5 apartments that can host 6. Right, so this brings us to another point, because 1-bedrooms aren't going to be the only thing that you look for, right? So what you go through here now, and the one thing I was going to try to show you, by the way, is I was actually checking to see if I could find a king-size bed search here, but I'm sure all of you are looking at the same thing that I'm looking at, and I don't see a section where it shows king-size beds. So if you want your king-size bed to show up, or you want your king-size bed to help you, of course, get more bookings, I do recommend putting in your title. So now let's look at how many properties. Let's clear this and apply that clear. We're wiping the price now, because now let's check this out. Actually, so let's apply searching for 8. Let's remove some filters here, because we don't want to get too specific if there are too many here. Okay, yeah, property type. Okay, we're fine. So now, what is the price spread of this? The ones that can occupy 8, we've got 136 Pardon me, guys. Okay, price looks like we've got ones that go as high as 584 and ones that go as low as 140. That is the spread for 8 that can occupy 8. So this is one of mine. I've got it at 206 a night. 233 a night is not mine. I actually just had a meeting with this guy. He's way cool, and he's charging 162 per night. He raised his prices. Good job, my man. This townhome is 338. Now, actually, let's look at the occupancy for this one that's 338. So this is the one thing that I think Airbnb is really strong with is groups. So you either try to get into a property at a low rate and be able to occupy business travelers and couples and stuff like that at a competitive price, or you diversify or differentiate and do what hotels cannot do, which is host groups. So let's look at this guy's occupancy percentage here. Okay, so he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's got 12 unbooked nights. And he can host 10 guests. See that? 10 guests. This guy can host 10, and his price is $250 a night, and his occupancy for this 30 days is 16 out of 28. So he's at 57%. So we go then and take a look at the next 30 days, and he's got 5. Okay, wow, good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11 dates open, so he's at 20 out of 31. Equals 20 out of 31. So he's doing better next month. So next 30 days. Now you want to know why? March, fun facts for those of you who don't know Houston. Actually, that's May, isn't that? Or were we looking at March? Okay. So now let me see. May is a series of conventions like OTC and some oil conventions. Or otherwise, just the lead time on big bookings. It looks like he actually has a big booking from the 23rd until the 20th. So that is something that I guess we really can't speak about. So let's go back here. My bad. So we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so we did that one right. Now March. He's only actually got 2 days booked in March. Yikes, that's got to hurt. So he's equal 2 out of 31. So he's at 6% occupancy. So he's not performing really well at his price point, right? But he can occupy 10. So let's actually do this search at 10, folks, right? Bang. Okay, here we go. So now here's mine, and let me show you this one. So this one can occupy 10. This is a 2-bedroom. I put queen-size beds in each room. And I've actually put 2 queen-size beds in each room, and then I've got a pull-out sleeper sofa. So that's what allows me to occupy 10 in this one space. And my average night is at 302 here, if you go for the discount. So occupy 10, price is 302. Let me try to clean this up for you guys, because I'm actually going to give you the link for this so you can actually look at this later. But let's look at mine. So I've got nothing in April. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dates booked in March. So let's go next 30 days. I'm at 8 equals 8 out of 31. So I'm at 25% occupied in March, and I am 100% locked up in February. So, and the reason why I'm at 100% is of course, I've managed my pricing strategy to force longer term stays. So let me show you the conundrum here is, see, I've got these 3-day bookings here on these weekends. They are actually going to cost me my ability to get a longer stay. So now I've got to actually drop my rates for these middle ones here. So, and then look at this, add an extra night and save. Extend your stay at April 12th for only 151. So what it's basically saying is you get a 3-day discount and it drops to 252. Wow, that's insane. Look at Airbnb is totally gaming you guys. Be careful. But what this shows you that occupying 10 people, let's go down. How many can occupy 10? We're actually down to 9 apartments, right? We're occupying 8. Um, let's switch to occupying 8. Apply. Is 20. So, um, so if you can occupy, let's do 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we've got, let's go persons so we don't get confused. And then listings. So what we have is at 10, there are 10 listings, but at 8, there are 20. And then occupying 6 persons, there are 43. And then let's look at occupying 4 persons. There are 81. You see, it's kind of actually, it's like cutting in half. So there should be 4 or 5 spaces that occupy 12. Let's see if the trend keeps up. So let's go to 12. There are 3. Only 3 places. So right now, there's only 3 places at this price point that can occupy 12 people or more. And look, one is 430, one's 414, and the low ball is 233. That's outstanding. So there's only 3 places. And this one, if you've just looked to strike gold, ladies and gentlemen, if you can occupy 12 people in Houston, there's only 3 listings, and 2 of your competitors are charging 400 plus per night, right? That's got to count for something. So let's actually look at the middle marker guy here. Let's see how occupied he is. This person can host 15 guests, with a total of 4 beds. I wonder how many couches he's trying to put people on. Is this all air mattresses? Because that's actually a little bit, that would be so bad if everybody's sleeping on air mattresses. Let's see what it says. So 3 reviews. And common spaces, 1 couch and 2 floor mattresses. So bedroom 1 has got a queen bed and 1 couch. That is just, how do you fit 15 people there? Yeah, see, so what this person's done is misrepresented their property. They cannot really host a true 15 guests. So they have no bookings at this price point. So what I would do is I would actually drop this one off, because there's one competitor now that possibly can host. This is a 2-bed, 2.5 bath with 5 beds, claiming to host 12. And he's got 115 reviews. This means this guy's getting action. He's getting booked. That's cool. Okay, so you want to stay 2 nights? It's gonna cost you $1,000. In February, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 open days. So this guy, so he's occupying, he can occupy, let's see how many it says he can occupy total. 12. Okay, so he's claiming 12. And his price is like 430 if we were right, correct? 375 now. So his price is 375 a night. And his occupancy this 30 days was 15 out of 28. If that was, oops, equals 15 out of 28. Let's see if that was actually right. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Actually, that's 16. No, that's 15. Okay, 15 out of 28. And in March, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got 10 out of 31 in March. So equals 10 out of 31 in March. So what do we know about this guy? Let's actually link him in here too, because he deserves a shout out for being the ballsy one to get the big listing. Go big or go home. So what we know now is this guy at his price point is achieving this level of revenue. So let's do our revenue again. We've got he equals his 375 times the number of days, but also times his occupancy percentage. And he's got $5,600 that he's made so far on his 2-bedroom, right? So what he has is he's got a big 2-bedroom somewhere, and he's definitely utilized the space. He's doing, see this middle photo, he's definitely doing what we do, which is the two queen size beds. Actually, that looks like a queen and a full, or a queen and a twin. And he's making it work. So what we now know is that there's only one person operating a 12 occupancy home for over $400 a night, and look at all of those reviews. He's killing the game. So if you wanted to know what property to get in Houston, you'd actually go bigger. So let's actually clear this. I'm going to show you one last thing as far as this goes. Let's move it to 16 persons. How many, regardless of price, there's one place that can handle 16 persons in this neighborhood, and they're charging almost $2,000 a night. And there you are, Tyler. What's up, my man? So it can host exactly 16 guests. It has exactly 3 bedrooms, 6 beds, just big property. And let's see what he's getting. This could be, I mean, this looks like the biggest inn ever. Look at that pool. That's cool with the swan in there. So his rate is $1,700 a night. So occupies. Occupy 16 people, and his price is $1,700. He's getting some action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's got 7 booked nights. And let's actually see if he changes his price points. So he requires a 3-day minimum stay. And so it's $5,800 for 3 nights. So that's one thing that he's doing, which I would not do, is require that short of a stay, or that long of a stay. But that's his prerogative. So this 30 days, he has 7 dates, and then next he's got 4, and he's got 8. So February he's at equals 7 out of 28, and then March he's at 8 out of 28. And if we look at his revenue, do the same thing, you're going to see equals his price, which you can click on that if you want to do it like this, times the number of dates in the month, and then times his occupancy. He's making $11,900 for the month of February on his 7 nights alone. So AirDNA actually has confirmed this, that 3 bedrooms, the average 3 bedrooms and 4 bedrooms crack about $10,000 to $12,000 a month. Now, we are able to figure this out without actually having to pay for an AirDNA. So to review, what we've gone over is by using search queries and filters, we can filter by total number of guests to see how many people are around. And obviously at 16, there's only one competitor. So if you come in with a property that can host 16 people, like especially here somewhere in Midtown, you'd be the only person who can pull it off, and you would be changing the game. So that is a gap in the Houston market. We've also looked at filters based on pools and gyms. You've noticed that pools and gyms will cut down the number of available properties by a third, but down to 30%. You can see the price spread here, but there's only one property and it's up there. So, but this will give you that chart to let you know where it kind of gives you a heat map of prices. You can use that. You can also do things based on home type. Obviously, if we did entire place, that's not going to change anything in this case. But I would actually put that when you do your own searches. So You can find out what the pack is doing, what majority of people are pricing their properties at. You can then look at their photos and see what quality their places are. You can see what they have, what they don't have. You can then see what occupancy percentages they're holding. So you can find out that, oh, at $150 a night, this lower occupancy is kind of what this person's achieving, but this person's also achieving $2,700 per month, and his rent at that property is $2,300 or $2,400 per month, and I would know because I used to take it. So this guy, unfortunately, is only going to break even if he doesn't actively manage his prices. But the one that I put these down here, where I'm going to achieve like $2,700 or $2,800 a month, my rent is $1,300 and change. So I've got my property for about $1,000 less, and because I actively manage my prices, I'm making the same revenue as this guy. So with that said, guys, this is how you just grind through your neighborhood to look at your competitors and find out what everybody else is up to, and that way you can make smart decisions based on the facts. If you have any questions about this video, leave it in the comments as per usual. Thank you for watching Airbnb Automated, and I will see you next time.